Well, I contains one sitting. I have fulfilled. Well, Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa. I am here with you. Accordance with titles, yes. Today we are roasting Dia Mirza. Okay. Now, with Dia Mirza, she's like an Bollywood actress. I would address her as a failed Bollywood actress. But now, today's topic, what is the today's topic? Here, global warming propaganda versus man's sonic naval yachi. I mean man employs sonic naval yachis. Now, first of all, let's check it. What is the points of Diamicha? And here we can say these moments. Well, okay. Here we could see. Well, this video is from YouTube Israel, and here we could notify. So, what is the video? Short videos. That is Dia Mirza blames man for climate change. Viral podcast spark debates. And now, what is the moment? In this case, Dia Mirza states that patriarchy is the cause of the climate change. Okay. Now, let's check it the moments. Okay. Now here we can see this points. Now, Dia Mirza climate change. Henge. Now here we can see it is just a reaction videos. Well, the one said, Acha. Well, here we can see. Okay. Now here we can man or race or culprit. Well. And here we can see these moments. Well, here subtitle is written, "Oh, patriarchy is the cause of the climate change." It is the man in the world that male ego is. Yeah, it is the man who would have driven the climate change. This is the point, and they are entirely and totally responsible for the chaos. Yeah, and it is the momentums at the points. And now, here I am here to mention that what is the realities of climate change at the moments. Well, now here we can see. Let's check the momentums at the well, and here we could notify. Now here we are talking about Israeli employees where departure is home Departure is Tel Aviv, Israel, and arrival is Beijing, China. Okay. Now here we can see it is the points wake up to reality. First of all, here Dia meets Yachi's to mistress house in where? Well, in departure China, where hence the departure is Beirut, the capital city of Lebanon, and arrival is Beijing, the capital city of China. Okay, and departure is Beirut. Now, what is the naval distance of Diamija? That is, yes, that is 75,000 kilometers. And now, let's check it. What is Diameter Siachi's naval velocity? That is here 25 kilometer per hours. And the naval timing in 3,000 hours, that means 250 days. On the other hand, now let's check it. What's going on? The man's employees Yachis, where office is in home is here Tel Aviv, the capital city of Israel, and office is Beijing, the capital city of China. In that cases, naval distance is 75,000 kilometers. Okay, and here naval velocity is 225,000 kilometers per second. Naval timing is 0.38. Now, what is the meanings of Israeli man's employees Yachi's naval velocity to be 225,000 kilometers per second? That is here. When the naval distance is 75,000 kilometers, naval timing is 0.35 seconds. And now, in that case, departure time is morning 6 o'clock, June 24, 2026. On the other hand, arrival time is morning 6 o'clock, 0.34 second past, June 24th, 2026. Okay. It is Israeli man's employees Yachi. And now, let's check it. On the other hand, when diameters Yachi's velocity is 25 km per hour, in that cases, well, naval distance is 75,000 kilometers. Naval timing is 3,000 hours. That means 250 days. That means here departure time is morning 6 o'clock, June 24th, 2026. On the other hand, here arrival time would be evening 6 o'clock, March 1st, 2027. And now, it is the proper statements of whom? Well, it is the proper statements of the Amija. And now, well, now here we can see that is the significant moments. I know here is the several persons in here who attached with Dia Majors and Bollywood actors, where they accept Dia Majors as a good actress, but I do not accept her. And now, when the topic is about the climate change, and here we are talking about the reality of the climate change propaganda, global warming propaganda. Well, what is the global warming? In that cases, global warming is that when in the summer seasons we condense more high temperatures than a general temperatures that is that can destroy our environments, that is the global warming. In that cases, it causes forest fire, it causes famine, and it causes here bloods, and it causes here some food crisis at some moments. And now, here we can see those points. What is the global warming propaganda? Here, global warming propaganda is a false propaganda where we mention the problem as a global warming, and the solution of global warming is addressed as a destructions of national economy, that is the global warming propaganda. And now, in this moment, here scientific national scientific developments can be destructions by the solutions of global warming is defined as a global warming propaganda. Well, now let's check it. What are some demonstrations? Here I can mention the demonstration at the points. Well, now let's check it. Come on. Well, and here we can see this. Now here we can discuss at the moments the why global warming is now became a propaganda. And here we could see the Tel Aviv departures is Tel Aviv, the capital city of Israel, and arrival is here China. Okay, and here we can see these moments. Now let's check it. What's going on? And here we can see these points that can contains as significant moments. Here is Tel Aviv, Israel. Now, first of all, the Israeli man employees have to travel the Mediterranean Sea, where both northern side of Mediterranean Sea is Greece, Italy, France, and Spain and Portugal, and southern side of Italy is southern side of Mediterranean Sea is Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Morocco. And now then he have to travel the sea beach near to Portugal, and Plymouth, the city of England, and the eastern sea beach of Canada. Then he have to travel the eastern sea beach of United States of America. Then he have to travel the sea beach of both of Gulf of America and Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean Sea nearby Honduras, Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, and so on. Then he have to travel the southern Atlantic Oceans to reach the sea beach of whom? The sea beach of here, southern sea beach of South Africa. Then they have to travel the sea beach of South Africa, Tanzania, Somalia, Oman, Iran, Pakistan, and eastern sea beach of India. Western sea beach of India. Then he have to travel the eastern sea beach of India, the sea beach of Bangladesh, the western sea beach of Malaysia and Australia. Then he have to travel the southern sea beach of uh, Australia and eastern sea beach of Australia and northern sea beach of Australia. Then he have to reach the here China, Beijing, the capital city of China. In that cases, here we could see what is the total nautical miles. In that cases, here total nautical mile is 40,374.8. Okay. And now here is the momentums at the points to be noted, and I think we can see the significant momentums at the points. Well, first of all, 8 nautical miles. And now let's check it. What is the meaning of nautical miles? Well, nautical miles to kilometers. And now here we can see that is almost 40,300 I have lost 374.8. That is almost 74,740. I mean 74 kilometers. Well, 129 meters, 600 millimeters. And now here we can see these points, and that is the distractions at the moments. Well, and here we could see some now let's check it what is going on at the momentums. Well, now I think it is the best positions to be ready, and in this case is the points. Well, now here we can see the points. If we can protect here 75 kilo, if we want to protect the climate change, the accordance with diameter here Yachi velocity would be 25 km per hour, and that is the significant wrong decision. Why I have stated the significant wrong decisions? That is the beautiful questions containing the beautiful answers. Because now let's check it. What is 257? I have already. What is 250 days as a naval timing when naval distance is 75,000 kilometers? Well, here my house is in Tel Aviv, Israel, and my office is in Beijing, the capital city of China. And now, in these cases, when my office is Beijing, the capital city of China, here our travel time is, as we can mention, that can be here 40,374.8 nautical miles. That cost here 4,000. That is almost 75,000 kilometers. In that cases, when my velocity would be 25 km per hour, here I can travel 75,000 kilometers as a naval distance in 300 hours. And now, in these cases, well, at morning 6 o'clock, June 24, 2026, I would depart from my home, where my home is in Tel Aviv, the capital city of Israel, and I would reach here Beijing, the capital city of China, Where is my hobby office? In here, which date? The date would be evening 6 o'clock. Well, February, March 1, 2027. Now, in the delays of 250 days, here, what would be my circumstances? I can be fired, and even my office Chinese boss can sue me in Chinese, both of Chinese code and Israeli codes. And now here that would be the negative image for Israel. But now, if I can travel 75,000 kilometers in the naval timing to be 0.34 seconds, where the departure time is morning 6 o'clock, June 24, 2026, and arrival time is morning 6 o'clock, 0.34 seconds past, June 24, 2026. Then what would be our points? Here, my point would be clears. Now, what is my points? In that cases, here I can state my points. But here I can reach to your office in morning 6 o'clock, 0.34 second past at the same time. And now, in that cases, here my office can be start at 7 o'clock in China. In that case, and here we can say the points. Reality of Chinese office here, I cannot get 1 hour more salary per day, but still in here my punctuality is capable to be seen to my Chinese boss in my office, where my office is in Beijing, the capital city of China. And now that has the significant points at the moment. In that cases, now here we can, when the point is global warming, and when my naval velocity to be 225 km per second, with of my naval yachts can destroy the naval global warming. So, and here we are not responsible, because every employee's dream is, well, their office would be 75,000 kilometers away from their house, and they can travel 75,000 kilometers in 0.34 seconds to reach where? To reach her office. And now that is the significant journeys at the moments. In that cases, I want my salary just secured. Now when I can secure my salaries, that is the best decisions for me at some significant terms at moments. And here we consider, if when the topic is about employees on naval yachts, here if the naval tree would be global climate would be destroyed because of the yacht of the employees with the velocity to be 225,000 km per second. Hence here Global warming is good for everyone because here employees want to travel 75,000 kilometers in 0.35 seconds. Well, an employee cannot tolerate that he can travel 75,000 kilometers in 3,000 hours. That is a nightmare for an employee. And now, in these cases, here that is the significant moments. Here I can compare between Diameter versus Israeli man employees. Well, what is the Diameter's velocity? That is here 25 km per hour. And what is Israeli man's employees Yachi velocity? The naval velocity, that is 225,000 km per second. And now, in this basis, Diameter states that mans are culprit for global warming and climate chaos. Okay. Now here we can. What about employees' belly? I mean, what about employees' food starving? No one discussed it. But here, that is the significant discussing moments. Well, here we can see the velocities. And now, what is the base that Diameter states, or what is the base that Diameter states mans are culprit for the global warmings? In those cases, okay. Now here we can see these moments. In that cases, Mirza states that is the dangerous points because Mirza can travel 75,000 kilometers in 3,000 hours, and Israeli man employees can travel 75,000 kilometers in 0.34 seconds. And now, that is the simple moments. In the method of Diameter's climate change, employees can be fired. That is the guarantee. But in the but what about the moments when the method of Israeli man's employees to contest the Yachi to be with the velocity of 225,000 km per second, here it can contest the probably, here it is containing the guarantee, here employees job can be secured, and it can contest the probabilities that employees can be promoted. And now, that is the moment that the points. Now we can see these points. Well, when the naval distance is 75,000 kilometers, well, diameter and departure time is morning 6 o'clock, June 24, 2026. According with the diameter's decisions about global warming, employees' Yachi's arrival time would be evening 6 o'clock, March 1st, 2027, where departure time would be morning 6 o'clock, June 24, 2026. And what about the reality that violates DMH's global warming suggestions. In that cases, when naval distance is 75,000 kilometers, Israeli man, what is going on? The Israeli means, yes, Israeli man employees departure is morning 6 o'clock, June 24, 2026, and arrival time is morning 6 o'clock, 0.34 second past, June 24, 2026. When is morning 6 o'clock, 0.34 second past, June 24, 2026 as an arrival time, and where is where after evening 6 o'clock, March 1st, 2026, I mean 2027. And now that can contest the significant destructive moments at the several points, and that is just disgusting points. Okay, now here we can see, well, and now let's check it. What about the kinetic powers? Okay. Now Israeli man employs kinetic powers is here 16.585 quadrillion megawatts. What is the method to calculate the kinetic powers? The method is Albert Einsteinian kinetic powers. And now, okay, where is C? Well, in that cases, the equations of kinetic power is here statistic energy multiplied by travel time I apologize, statistic energy divided by travel time multiplied by bracket of lambda subtract by 1. Now, what is velocity of ERC divided by velocity of lights? That is 0.75. And now, what is the equation of lambda subtract by 1? That is 1 divided by square root of bracket of 1 subtract by v square divided by c square. Enter times bracket close, enter subtract by 1. And now, we can see this points, that is here calculation is of lambda subtract by 1 is 1 divided by square root of bracket of 1 subtract by 0.75 square, enter time bracket close, enter subtract by 1, that is 0.51186. Okay, and now here we can see these moments. Well, now here kinetic, what is the kinetic powers at times? We can see kinetic powers calculation is here 108 multiplied by 10 to the power 20 divided by 0.34, enter multiplied by 0.51186. Oh, I apologize. Here the weight of Israeli ERCs is 12 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 kilograms. Now, what is the statistic energies equations? That is here, well, 12 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16. And now, hence, since here velocity of light is 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 meter per second. And here, what is 4 sum by 16? That is 20. And what is 12 multiplied by 9? That is 108. And now, hence we can get the statistic energy to be 108 multiplied by 10 to the power 20 joules. And here, what is 0.34? That is 1 divided by 3. And what is what is 1 divided by 0.34. Well, that is 3. Hence, let's check calculations becomes here 324 multiplied by 0.51186. That means here we here I apologize here 324 multiplied by 10 to the power 20 multiplied by 0.51186. Hence, the result is clear, that is 16.585 quadrillions megawatts. And now, here we can see, well, now on the other hand, now it is my first video to roast their majors about the scientific knowledge. Hence, I think here I can contest the views issues because I shift to another genres at the moment. Now here, now let's check it. What is the diameter's energy Yacht's kinetic powers? Now here equation method is I check Newton's equations. What is the reasons? Because your velocity is 25 km per hour. Okay. Now let's check is what is the equations of kinetic powers, that is half of weight multiplied by distance square divided by travel time cube. Okay. Now what is half of weight of diameter CH is, that is 6 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 kilograms. And now let's check it. Here we can say this points. As in calculations we can see, well, now here is my points as I would see. What is the naval distance? That is 75 multiplied by 10 to the power 3 kilometers. That means naval distance is 75 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 kilometers. And what is 75? That is 3 multiplied by 25. And now let's check the points. What is naval distance square? That is 9 multiplied by 6.25 multiplied by 10 to the power 12. Okay. And now here is the momentums. 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. Okay. Now here is 9 multiplied by 625 multiplied by 10 to the power 12. That is the naval distance square. Now what is the naval timings? That is 3000 hours. And that means 108 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 seconds. Now what is naval distance square? That is 108. I have guessed what is naval timing cube? That is 108 cube multiplied by 10 to the power 5 15 cube. What is 10 to the power 15 cube? That is here 10 to the power 15. Now what is 103? That is here 3 multiplied by 36. Now what is here 10 to the power what is 108 cube? I apologize. What is 108 cube? That is here 9 multiplied by 45,656. In that cases, what is naval timing cube? That is 27 multiplied by 45,656 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 second cube. And now here we can see what is the equations. Here equations, the calculations of diameter Yacht's kinetic force is, well, 6 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 625 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 enter divided by bracket of 27 multiplied by 45,656 multiplied by 10 to the power 15. Okay. Now what is 12 sum by 4? That is 16e. What is 16e subtract by 15e? That is 1. That means here 10 to the power 4 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 divided by 10 to the power 15 is always 10. That is the clear. And now let's check out the moments. Well. And now here we can mistake the calculations and I would reform it. Here the calculations is almost 10 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 625 divided by 27 multiplied by 656. I mean 45,656. That is the points. And now let's take the moments. What is 6 multiplied by 9 divided by 27? That is 2. And here, now we could see this. Here it would be here. Yes, the calculation is 20 multiplied by 625 divided by 45,657. And now, hence we could see what is the significant results. Okay. Now, and now here we can see that is the journeys at the points. Well, nobody do not like feminism, and here we could see this stance. That is the joke for us. Okay. Now, well, I could not contain calculators, and here that is the calculators I now contains. 20 multiplied by 625 divided by what? 45,656. And now what is the points? It is almost 2.7 0.274. Okay. Now here we can see that is the moments 0.274 watts. Now let's check the moments. Now what is the diameter? Here naval distance is same to be 75,000 kilometers. But in that cases, what is diameters? Okay. In that cases, what is diameters? Kinetic force, that is 0.274 watts. On the other hand, what is Israeli man employs Yacht's kinetic force? That is here 16.585 quadrillion megawatts. Now, well, here we can see these points. Now let's check out the moments. Where is 16.585 quadrillion megawatts and where is 0.274 watts? And in this times, now we can see the significant dangerous moments. And here we contain the issues against here diameter, because diameter's statement is against here employment. And here now we can say those points. Well, every man's dream is he would be employee of an office where there is the naval distance between home and office to be 75,000 kilometers of naval distance, and The man employees can travel it with the ERG with the kinetic force to be 16.585 quadrillions megawatts. That is the sweet dreams. And because if man employs ERG's kinetic force would be 16.585 quadrillions megawatts. In that cases, man employees employment can be secured in office. But when here man employees ERG's kinetic power would be 0.274 watts, where naval distance is 75,000 kilometers, the man employees is far. And hence, what about the points? In that cases, women would say here, I want divorce from you, you are useless fellow, I want divorce from you, I want a high alimony. And the man would be in the atoms of self-harmness. And that is the significant community guidelines balance. Okay. And now, let's check it. What is the points? But if man employs naval ERG's naval kinetic force is 16.585 quadrillion megawatt from the man employs personal ERG, where the naval distance is 75,000 kilometers. Here they can reach into 0.34 seconds. And now that is in that case the points, he can travel to office and he can focus on his works and probably he can get a promotions, but it is guaranteed that his employment would be secure. And now we can say the points. Well, accordance with diameter's global warming solutions, according to the statements of diameter, accordance with solution, well, alimony to women is impossible. Accordance with problems, alimony to women is not necessary. In the two cases, alimony system is useless, but difference is where the solution alimony is impossible. Problem is alimony is not necessary because here a man's employee can travel 75,000. Problem is man can travel 75,000 kilometers in 0.34 seconds with a fuel of with a kinetic power to be 16.585 quadrillion megawatts. Where solution is man should travel 75,000 kilometers in 3,000 hours with a kinetic power to be 0.274 watts. And now, here is my questions. Who is the culprit of the global warming? Man or women? And here, we can show that here, definitely, women are culprit and men are victim of the global warmings because in that cases, solution of global warming by diameter is proven false propaganda just because to attack on here man's employments. That is the dangerous policies as we could see. Okay, and now let's find out here the fuel. Well, man's fuel would be, man's employees Yacht's fuel would be. Here, Israeli man employs Yacht's fuel would be artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. Where the women's velocity, women Yacht's fuel is petrol. And now, here is the points why I hate petrols. Okay. Now we can see it is sometimes an issue at the moment. Okay. And now, well, topic is ready, and here I can mention the topics. Can be ready for that. Okay. Well, now let's check it. And here we could see this momentums. Now, I think in 5 minutes later I would stop the today's live streams because I could not find the measurements because of some disturbance. And here I would be back. Well, now let's check it. Okay. Here, when the Yacht is belong to diameter, when Yacht's naval distance is 75,000 kilometers and velocity, naval velocity is 25 km per hour. In that cases, here is the significant points. Fuel is cargo ship oil. Cost is here 1 United States dollars per liters. Okay. Now here I think here I forgot to mention something is fishy. Well, now here let's check it per liter. Okay. And now let's check the points. And now we could see what is fuel volumes. The equation says kinetic energy divided by specific heat of cargo ship oils multiplied by temperature difference multiplied by density of cargo ship oils. And now let's check it the moments. And here we could see what is the kinetic energy. Well, 0.274 multiplied by 108 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. And now what is the points? That is here. Okay. 108 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. That is here we can see 2,959,200. It is resemble to what? It is sometimes it is here resemble to be 3 million. Okay. And now let's check it. What is the calculations? That is 3 million divided by bracket of 2000 multiplied by 50 multiplied by 1.01. What is 2000? That is 2000 joule per kilogram per kilometers of cargo ship oils. And now what is the density of cargo ship oils? That is 1.01 kilogram per liters. And now, what is the 50? 50 is highest temperatures. Now, what is 2000 multiplied by 50? That is 10,000. I mean 184. And here we can see this points. What is the calculations? Here calculation is 300 divided by 1.01. I mean, yes, 1.01. 300 divided by 1.01. And now, what is the moments? And in this cases, now 300 liter of cargo ship oil. Okay, and now here we can see this moments. But now let's check it. And here that is the moments. Someone said that 303 liters of cargo ship was, that is not good deals at the moment. Well, I think 300 liters of cargo ship oils means almost 303 kilograms of cargo ship oils. That is not a big deal. Okay, and now let's check the fuels of man's. What is the fuel of man's? And here we can see. Well, the fuel of Israeli man employs fuel. Yacht's fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. Here, what is the fuel words? Fuel weight equation is kinetic energy divided by, well, specific heat of, bracket of the specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius multiplied by the following temperatures. Now, what is the specific heat? That is 15,408 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. And what is the kinetic energies? That is 5.529 multiplied by 10 to the power 21. Now, what is the calculation? That is 5.529 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 divided by bracket of 15,408 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. And it requires here 5.39 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 652 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor of temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. When we can see that is the points to notify temperature. The fuel is Israeli man employs ERC's fuel. Now, here we can see the points. Man's fuel weight is here 5.39 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 650 kilograms. That is less than 1 picograms. On the other hand, women's fuel is almost now I would discuss that. What is women fuel? Here, women fuel is on requires the weight to be 303 kilograms. Now here we can see, well, who is the responsible of global warming? Man or women? Here we can see this here. Women are responsible of global warming at the moment. Well, now here we can see the points. Now in these cases, men's are car guys. Their yacht's velocity is 225,000 kilometer per second. And now, well, in that case, when 225,000 kilometer per second as a favored velocity of man is necessary to travel from home to office with the naval distance to be 75,000 kilometers. And now, in that cases, is it not possible that global warming is just a propaganda by women to destroy man's economy? It is the real questions as we could see this moment. And here, well, here we are mentioning as a man velocities, that is the significant necessary points. Okay, now here is my live stream over, and I think, well, today's live stream is the discussion to roast the completely different person from today's. And here several men probably do not know who is Diamija, and several men are not sure that what is going on. Well, see you again for them. And now I can reach. Today I could not reach to my friends just because here today's category is science and technology, but probably here the discussion probably here genre can be written as a news politics, where it is not talking about news politics, it is the discussions of what? It is the discussion of man's employee travel time that contains, and the discussion is the perception of science and technology. And now here we can see, well, first times here I felt disappointments because I could not reach to my friends just because of genres mentions addressing. Well, I would try to correct this, the genre.